You walk into the room, sore throat, congestion, maybe a cough. Before you even sit down, they say it. Last time they gave me antibiotics, and it worked right away. And just like that, this isn't really about the diagnosis anymore. It's about expectation. If you've worked even a few shifts in urgent care, you already know this pattern. It's not occasional, it's multiple times a shift. And these aren't difficult patients, they're uncomfortable. They're tired. They just want relief so they can move on with their lives. But somewhere along the way, they were taught that relief equals antibiotics. And that belief walks into the room before you even do. And if you handle this wrong, you don't just lose the visit, you make the next 10 harder. Here's something interesting I've noticed over time. It's not the same across age groups. Middle-aged to older patients, they're the ones usually pushing for the antibiotics. Younger patients, a lot of them are actually hesitant. Sometimes you're not convincing them to take the antibiotics, you're actually convincing them that it's actually okay if they do need them. And there's a reason for that. This didn't come out of nowhere. Years ago, there was this idea that you had to nip it in the bud, stop it in its tracks. The earlier you started the antibiotics, the faster you got better. That thinking got passed around for years. Patients heard it from doctors, family members, friends, and it stuck. Problem is, that entire theory has been debunked, as we all know, but the belief is still very much alive. For most infections we see in urgent care, starting antibiotics early doesn't shorten illness. It doesn't prevent complications. It exposes patients to side effects, vaginal infections, thrush, diarrhea, and more. A lot of patients don't know that. They're not being difficult. They're working off outdated information. And it goes even deeper than that. You'd be surprised how many don't understand the difference between a virus and bacteria. They just know they're sick, and they want to feel better fast. If they don't understand the illness, they default to the only solution they know. So instead of debating antibiotics, I simplify it. I tell them, based on your history and exam, this is most likely viral. Most viral illnesses last about 7 to 10 days. The first 3 to 4 days are usually the worst. Now you've set a timeline, and that alone reduces anxiety. Then I manage expectations clearly. Are these medications going to make it go away faster? No, but they will help take the edge off so you can function. That line matters. You're being honest, but still helpful. Then I explain the part most people never hear. The thing that actually gets you better here is time. Your immune system is doing the work. It's not the prescription, it's the timeline. Then I take it one step further. As with anything, things can get better or worse. If symptoms linger past 7 to 10 days or worsen after improving, that's when we start thinking about bacteria and antibiotics. Now they have a roadmap, not just a yes or no. And once patients understand the timeline, they stop chasing antibiotics on day 3. Now they know what to expect. And more importantly, they know when to come back. When expectations are clear, the pressure disappears. Early on, this is where most clinicians struggle. You know it's viral. You know antibiotics won't help. But you feel that pressure building in the room, and the thought creeps in. It's just a Z-Pack. Move on to the next patient. We've all had that moment. Every unnecessary antibiotic reinforces expectations. It increases resistance, side effects, and makes future visits harder. So the real skill here isn't medical knowledge, it's control of the conversation. This is not about saying no, it's about how you say no. Because the wrong phrasing turns this into a confrontation. The right phrasing, most patients accept it. Start with a mindset shift. Patients aren't asking for antibiotics, they're asking for relief. They just want to get better. Antibiotics are simply the only tool they know. If you don't replace that tool, they will fight you for it. So if you say, you don't need antibiotics, you've taken away their only solution without replacing it. That's why they push back. Instead, start by aligning. I get why you came in. You're feeling pretty miserable. It shows that you're listening. They feel seen. Then briefly explain, based on your history and exam, this is most likely viral. Antibiotics don't work on this type of infection. Keep it clean. Here's the move that changes the entire visit. Replace the antibiotic with a plan. Here's what will actually help you feel better over the next few days. Now you've shifted from denial to treatment. Be specific, not just rest and fluids. Say, use ibuprofen or acetaminophen for the aches. A decongestant like pseudoephedrine can help with the pressure. Nasal saline or nasal steroids work better than most people expect. Now they're leaving with something real, something actionable, and most of the time, that's all they actually wanted. Now let's talk about pushback because it's coming. I always get antibiotics. Z-Pak works for me. I know my body. Can't you just give me something? You'll hear all of it. This is where most clinicians lose control of the visit. They get pulled into an argument. Try this instead. I hear you. A lot of people feel that way because they've gotten antibiotics before, but in cases like this, they don't speed up recovery. Then anchor in safety. I don't want to give you something that won't help and could cause side effects like diarrhea, rash, or yeast infection. Now you're protecting them. Sometimes, though, the situation is more gray, where the pressure is high enough that you need a middle ground. This is where the wait and see antibiotic comes in. And if you use it right, it can be very effective. I'll tell them, I don't think you need this right now, but I am going to give you a prescription to hold on to just in case. Now they feel reassured. Then you have to set very clear expectations. Do not start this today. Give it a few more days. If you're improving, you don't need it. Then define when they should use it. If you're not improving after a few days, or if things get worse, that's when you can start it. Now it's conditional, and I always explain the risk. If you start this too early, you're exposing yourself to side effects without any real benefit. That matters, because early antibiotics aren't a safety net. They're unnecessary risk. When done right, this approach does two things. It reduces anxiety, and it prevents unnecessary prescriptions. Let me give you a real example. A 48-year-old male with 3 days of URI symptoms, no fever, negative strep, classic viral. You explain it, and they say, last time antibiotics fixed it in 2 days. Here's the move. I believe you felt better. What usually happens is these infections peak around day 2 or 3, and then your body turns the corner. So it feels like the antibiotic worked, but you were already about to improve. That explanation changes everything. It rewires the belief. Then redirect. Let's focus on getting you through the next 48 hours. Now you're moving forward, not arguing backward. Another scenario. I can't be sick right now. I need something strong. This is where people panic and prescribe unnecessarily. Try this. I get that. The fastest way to feel better isn't antibiotics. It's controlling the symptoms aggressively. Then I structure it. When you stay ahead of the symptoms, most people feel better within a day or two. Now you've created a plan. If they keep pushing, stay calm, stay consistent. I'm not seeing signs of a bacterial infection today. If that changes, I would like for you to come back. That protects your decision and the relationship. Return cautions matter, not just for documentation, but for trust. If you develop fever, worsening symptoms, or shortness of breath, come back. Now they feel safe, not dismissed. Now here's something small but critical: confidence. If you say, I don't think you've lost them immediately, say clean. Fortunately, this doesn't need antibiotics. Pause, then explain. Confidence is what they trust. Not the prescription, not the explanation, confidence. No apology, no tension, just clarity. Most patients respect that, even if they don't say it, because what they want is not antibiotics, it's relief, and it's confidence. Are there exceptions? Of course. Medicine isn't black and white, but most antibiotic pressure is not clinical, it's communication. And once you get comfortable with this, these visits become easier, faster, and less draining. because instead of negotiating, you're leading. So the next time you walk into that room and hear, last time they gave me antibiotics, don't tense up, don't rush, and definitely don't reach for the send prescription button. Pause, align, explain. Replace with a plan, stay consistent. That's how you handle antibiotic pressure in urgent care. Not by arguing, not by giving in, but by leading the conversation the right way. You got this.